Okay, in previous class, we have started with the framework. In real time, how we will create the real time framework. We have started with the util class. We have created one method to execute the request, which is taking a input as a test data. This test data is contains all the input data we require. Base URI, request path, request methods, headers, request parameters, path parameters, body, content type, status code. These are all we have, and we have read the data from the test data and we assign to rest assured object. Here we got the rest assured dot given, so that we will get the request specification object. So that by using this request specification object, we can set all the data, content type, headers, query parameter, path parameters, and then body. If you want to log, we can log the request data. This is to log the.
Sir, this path parameter, query parameter, all these we have to send in the given, right, sir? All these.
Right. Here what we are getting here to create the framework level. See, we got from the given rest assured dot given. We got the request specification object. In this request specification object, we will set all the data. Content type, headers, query parameters, path parameters, body. And then we will execute by using request specification object only. We will execute get. These are all from the given. If we call the given method on the rest assured, we will get the request specification object. In this request specification object, we will set all the data and execute it. If you want to log the response data, then on the response object, we can call response dot then log all. So it will log the response data. It will show what is the response in the console. And then we have created to validate the response. To validate the response. So let me open Postman. Okay. For this, just we have added only response code validation. We will get the response dot response
Sir,
code.
generally, validation comes under in then, sir.
Yeah, validation we will comment then only. But see, we are creating here framework level. So we will not consider, see, then previously how we have created. This is the way how we have created. But in real time, we will not create like this.
Yeah, this
Right? Why?
this I'm thinking, like this I'm thinking. So
Because why we will not create, right? It is a duplicate code. If we create like this, if we have a some 100 APIs you want to automate, it is very difficult, right? Given when then every where you have to call and you have to do the validation, it is very difficult. In real time, we will not follow this approach. In real time, we have to create the framework. Framework means reusable methods. Reusable methods to execute. We should not repeat the duplicate code again and again. Here we have created, that's why execute API request. To execute the request, just it will execute the request, it will return the response. And then to validate the response, we are creating one more method. So we have started with it. We are sending parameters to validate the response. We require a response object, and then fetch data, input data. Okay. First thing what we are validating response code. If response is not null, we are getting the status code. And then what is the actual, this is the actual status code. And then what is the expected, we will get it from test data. We can, if both are not equal, we can throw error expected status code. But what is the actual? We can write your own message. Just I have written expected status code is, but we got actual. That means just we are throwing error so that it will show in the console. What is the error? Then what is the one more thing we required? Actually, we want to validate the response. We want to validate the response. Suppose we are getting a specific user, suppose. In the specific user, when we are getting, first we will get the list. From the list, we will take the one user. Okay, not this one. We have to execute the go rest. Okay, get all the users. Here take the any one user, then pass here user ID. Then we'll get the specific. And real, okay, resource not found. Okay, it's clear. Okay, we need to validate all this data whether coming correctly or not. We want to validate it. But how we will validate, how to send, in what format we need to send, and how we will validate it. For this, what we can do simply, here also we can take the expected response in the form of map itself. We will take a key value pairs. Suppose how we will take, I want, what is the expected value? I am expecting name equal to this one. We are expecting this. Suppose if you want to validate multiple values, then we can keep it as a something. We can think in a different way how we will send a multiple data to the method. Here I will write like a and or map. We can create a map object so that it will be easy for us. We can keep it in a map key value, or I want to validate second one key value. We can keep like this key and values in the map so that it will be very easy to validate. So we will create a one more map. Expected response. Maybe expected response. Or otherwise we'll keep it as a validate validate response data. Any name, some meaningful name. Just create the getter and setter methods. You can mouse over and then you can create getter and setter. Okay, fine. Now I want to validate this data. We are calling this validate response. We are sending the data to test data object. Then we want to validate it. How we will validate test data? First get the what is the test data dot get. Right, we can write a simple lambda expression, or you can write for each loop, but it's better to write nowadays everyone using lambda at test data dot validate response data. What we will get here? Map object. Here we will get the map object. On the map object we are calling for each method. On the map object we are calling for each method. For each method will take two values, key and value, and then lambda expression hyphen greater than symbol, and then open the curly brackets, close curly brackets and square brackets, semicolon. In between what we required? First we need to get, we are sending in what format? Key value. So from the response we need to get the what is the actual value. First of all we need to get the actual value. How we will get? From the response object, get JSON path. Get JSON path and the get string. If we call in the string format, we'll get the get string and then pass the key. What is the key? Name, email. This is the key. We are sending in the format. Gender, status. This key we are sending. So that key we are reading from here. If both are the actual value we will get, right? Get a response dot JSON path object, then get string, or get a simple get also we can call it. Simple get also we can call it. So we will get the actual value. Now we will compare. Already we have a map expected value. If we expected value not equals to actual value, we can throw the assertion error or test ng assertion. If you want to write test ng assertion, that is also fine. Throw assertion error for key expected value is this one, but got this is the difference. Right, just we are sending a message. Actually, we are expecting this, but we got a different value. Okay, suppose if it is a pass, right? If it is a pass, there is no issue, right? Just we have to. We can also show it a test case is pass. If we don't write also, that is fine. But if we are using when we integrate with the extent report, right, we have to show it. Here we will see just test ng assertion also we can write assert dot assert equals okay actual value and then what is the okay first we have to write the actual and then expected. We can also write the message. What is the value for the key matches expected value. Just whatever you want you can write. Just a meaningful message. Okay, here also if you want to write, here also we can write actual code and expected code. See, we don't require this also, right? Whenever we are writing assert equal, we don't require again additionally, these are all the things, right? Already testing what it will do. If it fails, it will fail automatically. We no need to write like this additionally. So that's why I'm telling multiple ways there are, we can write. Then these are all we don't require. Because already we are using the test-ng assertion. If it is fail, it will fail automatically. So we can write either you can write if and else condition, if condition, just if condition is fine, or else condition, or assert equals if and else or assert test-ng assertion. Right, it is better to write a test-ng assertions. Sometimes if there is in the report you want to show clearly, then we will go with the if and else. That we will see later. Just here following the test-ng assertions. Okay, first we are getting the map data and we are validating. We are getting one by one key from the response. We are passing the key. We are getting the value. We are just validating it. What is the actual and expected? So this is the how we can validate. This is the simple. We can see going forward. We have to enhance this one based on our project requirement. It may be sometimes we need to enhance this code. This is the basic code. Okay, then come to our test case. Okay, API test. Okay, last time we have seen just get user data. This is the get users and create user. So we'll see create user. Okay, here we have executed. We have called the validate response. Before calling the validate response, we have to set the test data dot set validate response data. We have to set the map object. What is the expected data? What is the expected data? Set validation, set response validation data. We have to create the map object validation data dot put. After creating, if we create any user, okay, what is the response we will get? Just okay, this is the data we are getting. So name, set the data. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Somehow it is disconnected. Yeah, can you please confirm, are you able to hear me or not? Hello. Yeah, okay, fine then. Okay, validate response data. We are creating the map object. That map object we have to send to set validation data. Okay, here we can set the multiple data. Which one we need to send the path? We need to send the path of the JSON and then value. What is the value we are expecting? Here we are expecting one is the email. Okay, one more is email. And then what is the we are expecting this one. Okay, fine. You can add any number of data like this. Just create the map object, add the data, and then fetch data dot set to this object and send this. Okay, fine. Now just we will execute and see our code is working or not. Okay, it got failure. What is the error? Email matches value for key matches expected value. Expected value but found. See, email is the dynamically we are generating, right? See, here what is the case? We are creating the email. So we have to send this email, right? We should not hard code it. Actually, whatever we are generating, same email we have to send it. Right? That also we need to make sure that whenever we are dynamic data is there, same data we need whatever we have created, same data we need to send it. Okay, still failing. What is the still error? Oh, we have executed both the test case or only one. Okay. Expected Anwar got. Sorry, something I have given wrong. What is that? Okay. Here what? This request contain all the data, right? Not only email. We have to extract this email data. We have to extract it, some string. We are sending request, that is wrong. We are sending entire body. Only email we want to validate. That's it. Okay, just send to request. Okay, then same thing we need to set here, email. Okay, now run it again. Okay, what are the different types of errors we will get and how to resolve these things? Just right when we get the issue, how to resolve it. That is the important. Code anyone can write it, but resolving the issue is very important. Okay, fine. Now it is successfully executed. We have created two methods. One is to execute the request, different types of request, and one is to validate. Tomorrow you have maybe we can increase. You want to validate XML response. Sometimes we may get XML response also. Right, same thing. We can write down same thing, but here we will get data from in the XML path. For JSON, we have to get the JSON path. For XML path. Only this is the difference we will get JSON path, XML path. Some of the complex validations will be there. See, in reusing, we cannot write everything as a reusable. So sometimes maybe particular API, we have additional validation. Those things we can do it within the this test case itself. Right. We no need to write a enter. That is, this reusable method should work for any request up to how much we can write the reusable code. That much only we can write it. It should not, if anyone provided a logic, that should not mean, that mean it should not 100% work with all the APIs. Maybe some APIs we require more validations. Those validations we can do within the test case itself. Sometimes we may get complex validations for the one or two test cases. We have to write down those validations within the test case. We have already response object. Whenever we will execute response object, if you have a response object means you can get the data, you can do your own validation. But if you want to do what the reusable method provided validation, just set those data and we can. Okay, now here all the data we are hard coding. Here we are hard coding. But this data we want to get it from some external file. I want to get this data from some external file. Okay, then how to get that? Right, either we can go with the Excel file or JSON file. We will see with okay, Excel file. We'll see with the first Excel file and also JSON file also I will tell you. If you want to get it from the suppose Excel file. So first we have to write create one Excel. Let me go. So in System Explorer, where is this project? Go to that folder. Just create here. We will create a one folder like test data. Inside test data, we will create one Excel file. One Excel file like a test data. Okay, here what we will do, we have to keep our test data here. Okay, in the first Excel, I am creating with mostly for APIs, mostly one test data will be fine. One sheet is fine. If you want multiple sheets, we can create multiple also. Because for API, every time headers will be same only. It will not change mostly. So what we will do here, we'll create okay, test case name. What is the test case name? We can have a test case description. And then what is the first thing? Base URL. Base URL. Okay, base URL. Okay, base URL. Then path, request path. Okay, request path. And then request method. Request method. And then request headers. Request headers. And then request params. And then path params. What else? Request body. request body, then content type, require content type, and then expected status code, and then validate response data. Expected, maybe we can say expected response data. Okay, fine. Then suppose if we take a get users, I want to validate, okay, what is the test case name? Get users. Then test case description. We get all the users. And then we can give the what is the base URL. We can give base URL. And then request path. What is the request path? Request path is users. And then request method get. If we have headers, we can set. For get, we don't have any headers, so we don't require to pass anything. Request params, path param, these are all empty, so we can send it as a empty. Body also we don't have. Content type, this is an optional. We can also give. This is the JSON format. We are expecting JSON format as a response. We can have a content type. Then what is the response code? So while writing any integers, in the Excel, just keep the hyphen and then give the number so that it will convert to string format. Then expected response data. If you want expected response data, key value pairs, then we can give it. We'll see that later. Just we are giving this like this. We can create get a user, get a specific user, and then create user. We can create the delete user, right, and then update user. We can write down for all. Description we can make it as the same. Base URL mostly common for all. Get a specific user. This is common, but we have to give the path parameter here. So user ID, then we can have a get and address we don't require. Then path params we have to give the user ID equal to, right, same name, whatever name we have given user ID, same user ID we have to send it. So if you want to use it as a dynamic way, right, we can get one user ID from this response. Get users from execute get users request and store that ID and we can use it. Then request body, we don't have any request body. For get a specific user also we'll get it. Okay, fine. Specific user, if you want to validate whatever user ID you have requested, expected ID equal to same, whatever ID I have sent, the same ID I am expecting. Similarly, create user. For create user, what is the request path? We require request path and the request method is post. And headers, we required a, for a post request, we need a headers. That is, we need to send a, where is this? Okay. Okay, we need to send this bearer token. So key equal to value. We have to give authorization equal to bearer token. Okay, requested us. And then what else we require here? I think that's it. Post. Okay, content type is application/JSON. And once we created, what is the expected response code? 201. If we want to validate expected response, we can. Here we need to give the request body. Right. For creating, we need to give the body. Create user. We need to give the create user. We don't require ID. This is the. But here we need to give email as a dynamic, but it's not advised to keep entire body in the Excel. So sometimes it is very small here, but in real time it will be 100 lines, 200 lines. In the Excel it is very difficult. So what we can do, already we have a request here. Already we have a SRC test resources. We kept already JSON data here. So what we will do, just we will give the name of the JSON file. Name of the JSON file. So that by using that name, we can read. We can read that request body. We will just give the user request.json. We'll create the JSON files here and then we'll give the name of that. Okay, fine. For delete user also, we require a users, which user we want to delete. Same thing. Here we require a status code is 204. And then update user. For update user, also we require, for updating the user, what we are doing, put request. In the put request, okay, in the user ID we are sending here. Okay, fine. Same thing. For delete here, delete method. For update, we require a put method. Okay, for delete also we require a bearer token. For update also we require bearer token. But how to get this bearer token from the configuration file, we will see later. Currently we are giving in the header. Usually we will not give in the header because this is same, common for all. So token will get from the configuration file later. Okay, update user put. Same thing for update user also, we required same JSON file. Same JSON file we require. Just email we need to change. That is already we are anyway dynamically sending. Right, dynamically we are sending. That is fine. Just we require a ID, which user we want to update. That user ID we want to send it. Right, we will keep it. See here, if you use like this, we will see later few of the enhancements to this. First, we need to update it, then delete it. Otherwise, what will happen? If it is deleted, we cannot find the record to update. So just we'll update and then delete. Okay, for update, we will get the response code 200. Okay, we'll see. These are the some requests. We can keep any number of requests like this. Any number of requests. Right, we can enhance based on this. I am throwing some idea how we can achieve code. How can we reuse the code? So we can enhance on it. Okay. Then what is the next step? Just refresh it. Okay, Excel file we got here. So next thing is we need to read this Excel data. So to read that Excel data, Okay, let me create here package as a util package. PrestaSure.util. Okay, we can keep it to this API util or any util classes under util package. Okay, now we can create a one more class Excel util. Excel util. Okay, to read the data from the Excel. Excel is how it will be a rows and columns. Data is in rows and columns. It is in rows and columns. Now, what I will do, I will create a map object. Okay, sheet data I want. That entire sheet data I want to read. I will create a map object. First, I will create a map object. In the map, what I will do, I will make it as a key and value. Key as a string, value as a string. Okay. Here key is what first thing is header. We require a header, right? We already have header, test case name, something, test description, whatever header it may be, whatever header it may be. Okay. Key as the header, I want to keep it test case name. Key as a test case name. Then I am reading the first row. Suppose I am reading the first row. I will make it as a header as a key and then value as the value. In the first row, first column is the value. Right. I have to keep it as a test case name and then test case name add user maybe. And then again one more map means we can keep it any number of keys and values. So description, test case description. Then first row, second column, first row, second column. We can add it here. Description we will add like this. For each row, one map I have to create for each and every row. Here, how many rows are there? 2 rows. In Excel, we have created 5 rows. That means 5 map objects. I have to keep it somewhere. I have to store it. These 5 map objects. Where I have to store it? These 5 map objects. I want to store it. How to store? How to store it again? We will create one more map called map of map. I will create a map of map. Right. I will create a map of map. Then what is the key here? Test case name. I will keep it as a test case name and then first map. Then map 1. Again, what is the second test case name? Then map 2. Like this, I will add all the rows. Suppose while executing the test case, I require a particular test case data. How we will get simply map dot get off pass the test case name. Pass the test case name, we will get the map object. If we store like this, it's very easy for us to get the data from data. Map of map. So if we pass the test case name, we will get the corresponding data in the form of map object. In the form of map object. Okay, now. Then to work with the Excel, we have to add some dependencies. What is the dependency? We have to add Apache Poi. Okay, we need to add Apache Poiser. Okay, take this latest one, 5.4.1. Add, copy this dependency. Add to our XML. That is maven.formfile.xml. Just add the dependency. Okay, we'll see what else we require. We'll get some errors. Then based on that, we will add remaining jars. Okay, first we will get the Excel data. Then what to create on the top? We will create one method called read Excel. Okay, we will read the Excel file. To read the Excel file, we require there is a class called workbook factory. Right. Workbook factory dot create. We have to pass the file object. We have to pass the file object. File object, we need to give the path where the Excel file is. For the file object, we need to give the path. We will get the root path. How to get the root path? System.get directory, user.directory, root path. This is the root path. Right. If we right click on properties, this is the path. In our system, it may be different path. My system, it is a different path. That's why we are getting dynamically root path. After getting the root path, we need to add src, and where is the Excel file? Under src test resources, src test resources, test data. What is the file name? We have test data.excel. We have a test data.xls xlsx. Okay. Then we have to pass this path. This path to the file object, and then pass the file object to workbook factory dot create. It is throwing a checked exception, just handle it. You can just make it as an exception. That's fine. Once we create the workbook, we have now pointed to workbook. Workbook means Excel. In Excel, there might be multiple sheets are there. Currently, we have only one sheet. So workbook dot get sheet. Okay, we can have a get sheet. Either we can pass the index or name of the sheet or index. Just we have currently only one sheet, so get 0. First, we will get the sheet object. We will get the sheet object. Right. Once we get the sheet object, we will read what is the total number of rows in the sheet. Get a sheet dot get physical number of rows. It will give the how many rows are there in the Excel. Then we can number of rows. Then we have to read first one. We will get the header row. What is the header row? Okay, get row of first row is always header row. First row is always header row. Get a row of. Okay, we will get the row object, header row object. Okay, then we have to for loop. Okay, loop it. From where we want to loop it? Index 1, because header row we don't want to read it. From the row, actual row starts from data starts from 1 and read I less than row count less than or equal to. Okay, we'll see how many rows. We'll see first of all. Any exception we'll see. Less than row count I plus plus. Then get the 1 by 1 row sheet dot get row of I. Get 1 by 1 row. And then next column. We need to read. First loop is for to read the rows. This is to read rows. Second loop to read the columns. To read the columns. First we need to get the what is the each row how many columns are there. Get a physical number of cells. Row dot physical number of cells. It will get the what is the how many rows columns are there. So from the 0 j equal to 0 to first row to less than last row, j plus plus. Then we need to get row data, header row dot get cell of j, first row, j equal to first time 0. So first row we are converting to string. We are converting that data to string. Right, this is header row. From the header row we are getting the header. Then actual value. Then we are getting actual value. Row dot get cell. Here we will get header as a test case name, value as the get users. Right, header and value. Then we need to store it in a map. For each row we have to create the map object. So we will create a map object here. First, after first loop we will create the inside a first loop we will create the map object that is called a row data. Then we will keep it as row data dot put header and value. Header and value. Then again we need to store. Once the first row is completed, we need to store it in a one more map. Otherwise, what will happen? It will override with the previous row. So once the first row data is completed, again second row what will happen? It will reinitialize it. That means previous row data will be removed. So we before remove it should be stored it in somewhere. So what we thought to keep we thought to create in a map of string comma again map object of map. This is the Excel data. Okay, we will keep this Excel data dot put. We have to keep the row data first row. Excel, what is the data for first row? Excel row data. And what is the key we want to keep it? We want to keep it as a test case name. How to get the test case name? How to get the test case name? From the first row, we are getting row, right? Row dot get a cell. Which cell? First cell. We want to get the first cell as a test case description test name. Okay, right. Then get string value. Okay, first row is always a test case name. First row is always a test case name. So we can get it easily here. Or else we can get the row data. Already you have prepared row data. Right. We can also get it from row data also. Already this row data will contain a one way is we can get it like this. Already we got the map data. Get off. What is the key? We have to give the key test case name. Already we have prepared a map object. So we can get it row data dot get off key. We can pass the key either way. Anyone is fine. Right. Once this is done, the entire Excel data will be then close the workbook. Once it is done, everything, close the workbook. Close the workbook. Workbook dot close. Okay, fine. If you want to add exception handling, just add the and a catch block. Okay, here we can add a throw new exception error reading Excel file. What is the error message? Okay, fine. It will read entire data to this Excel and then we can make it as a static. We can make it as a static and we can create one more method here. Okay, get a data by test case name. We can create one more get a data by test case name, pass the test case name and get the data from map Excel data dot get off, pass the key, get the row data, corresponding row data. Okay, make it as a static so that it will be available anywhere. Okay, first we want to read the data, then only it will store in this map object. So I want to read only one time, no need to read every time. I want to read only one time this Excel and store it in a map. That's it. Whenever I require, I will call this method. That's it. From the map object, we will get it. So if I want to read only one time, where I can keep this piece of code, I can keep it this code. Okay, we have. Okay. We can create a one base test. Okay, we'll create one base test. Okay, new class, then base test. Okay, base test. We can keep it inside a package. That's we will make it as a base, or we will keep it as a main package is a rest assured dot base. Okay, you can just move to. It will create automatically base package and it will. Okay, fine. Okay, I think Pojo class also we need to make it inside a rest. How to make it? Just we have to inside a package, just give the parent package rest issue dot pose. Then it will, you can move to the package. Okay, it will move automatically, it will create and move it. You can delete the parent one. So that we will have a main package. Under main package, we will have a all sub packages. Okay, fine. What are the errors here showing? Okay, base test. What we will create here, we are following a TestNG framework. So if I want to call any method only one time, right, we can go with the before suit. Right, we can do one time setup in the before suit. Okay, initialize it. Okay, we can keep it any name. Just I'm keeping initialize. Then Excel util dot. We can make it as a static method. Where is our Excel util? Okay, we will make it as a this method as a static, and this method also we can make it as a static. Okay, in the base test Excel util dot get read Excel. Okay, read Excel. It is throwing a checked exception, just handle it. That's it. If you read it, it will read entire Excel data into the map object. Wherever I required, suppose I required, we are created here. Right. So here what we will do instead of this entire code, we will comment it out, and just what we can do, we can create Excel util dot get test case. What is the test case name? Get users test. Get users test. Or we can use the data provider. Instead of this, if you want, we will see data provider how to use it. For now, directly we are calling Excel util dot this one. We'll get the map object. But map object to again we need to convert to test data object. Right? We have already created a test data object. Just we need to convert this data, convert this map data to test data. Right? How to convert those things we will see in next class. Okay, we'll see those in the end. We'll go slowly. Okay, in the next class we'll see. Any questions? Okay, fine then. We'll continue. We'll connect tomorrow then. Yeah, thanks for joining.